It's a long in-depth interview with Gong Yoo from Singles Magazine December 2013 issue. How did he debut? Reporter Mr. Nomad, deep in the forest, Gong Yoo. Here is a man who could walk along with you, through the endless paths in the mountains and valleys for hours without getting tired. He would chat with you about a movie for 3 hours over coffee and still not bore of it. He is a man not just you, but everyone loves. You may think that you are not in love with him yet. But, you will. This is the only problem. We began to take photographs for this pictorial at the end of fall in a small forest on Jeju Island, all geared up in mountaineering clothes. Gong Yoo burst into laughter when he saw the stylist using an industrial fan rather than a hairdryer to dry the hair while he was squatting in a corner and avoiding the camera. He said, "What the heck, it's so funny. Who could have thought that our supervisor would be such a hotshot? That melts down the jitters of the first scene." In a bit, he started changing his shirt without any hesitation shortly after he waddled out from the scattered slopes and shrubs where he made poses. The staff, who had not worked with him in the past, reacted with a collective, "Oh, gosh." Staring at them, Gong Yoo felt uncomfortable and said, "Please do not make a big deal out of it." That means some articles tagline which state that, professional actor so-and-so, not minding breeze, filming outdoor in the wild, is just embarrassing. In fact, as I saw his six-pack during the preview of the movie, The Suspect, I was really wondering how he did it. And I dare to confess that I intend to write about it immediately ever since then. A few hours later, we sat down at a terrace overlooking the ocean. It is not easy to express my feeling in words. He does not seem to be the one who wants to receive recognition from the others, nor the type of person who is good at self-defense with the pretense of modesty. He will not try dealings in life that are irresponsible, reckless, or not suitable for his age. This is the reason why a conversation with this man, who does not have any crooked perspectives but the virtue of experience and thoughts through his 35 years of life, is so enjoyable. Such flexibility is the force that let him stand, enabling him to gradually evolve as actor Gong Yoo. "Whatever the result is, I've already enjoyed a lot." That was what he said when I asked him about the new movie, which was not even halfway done yet. In the movie, The Suspect, he is acting as an abandoned North Korean elite special force agent whose meaning of life is seeking revenge for his lost daughter and wife. Box office hit is the second, reward is the third. My first priority is the joyful feelings that I could have from being alive and acting in front of the cameras. The blissful feeling brought to him by filming The Suspect has now turned to the sense of responsibility as it is getting ready to be released. Question: You just mentioned that even if the number of audience of the movie The Suspect reaches 5 million, you won't get excited though. Are you that nervous about the release? You reply, "In fact, I am not simply concerned about this movie has to do well. Therefore, I could be better off too. It is my first time filming a movie for 9 months and it took almost 6 months to be premiered. The whole process stretched through 2 years. The director has said that he will take care of the rest. Frankly, we have already become a family now. The reason which I want this movie to pass the BEP is because I know how much they put into it. There are so many people involved. And, as you know, honestly, they make a living out of it. This movie could also dictate if they get hired in the next one too. I feel the responsibility. The investors, producers, and the staff started working together believing in actor Gong Yoo. Hence, I must have to get them a return higher than the break-even point. That is why I feel the pressure as the movie is getting ready for release, have been shaking though." Question: As action movie features with spy from North Korea, this one inevitably reminds me of Berlin, which starred with numerous actors. However, this work seems more like a one-ace actor movie. I think you ought to try much harder as if you were that collaborated power from those stars at the box office. You reply, "One of the reasons I rejected the offer at the beginning was because I was not sure if I could lead the whole movie by solely depending on the popularity of myself as an actor. I do not like standing out, and I am not that bragging type of person, either. Indeed, I have been very consistent right from the beginning. I have become a liability. I'll do my best for the people believing in me. Therefore I could do the dangerous scenes willingly even though the director asked me not to. My thought was that if there exists a way I could put forth myself, I would like to do it even though I might get hurt seriously. Thus, I would not regret anything later even if the movie could not succeed commercially." Question: Is there anything you wish you could have done better in your acting? You reply, "Once I told the following to the director while I got drunk. I don't know how it started then. Our director kept telling me only good words like, great, thanks and the like, but after a while, when I thought about it, there was not much I had done in the movie though. I was wondering if I could be just on the receiving end. Despite facing possibilities of being injured, I had definitely made use of my whole body in acting at this movie. But, I began to wonder if I went overboard doing it. Literally, acting with just the eyes and the body instead of the lines is a much difficult task for the actor. Yet, I still felt guilty in this regard. I should have done something further, or something far more explosive and dynamic. If it was really overdone, I believe that could be edited out later. Question: Gong Yoo's real action is a hot topic in these days. I am not sure exactly what it is. I have heard from people who have worked in the US and Japan before saying that directors in Hollywood are scared to have the actors walking on the rainy streets. It is because if they fall and scratch the faces, the whole movie might get ruined. However, when I interviewed Hollywood actors last year, they were talking about Tom Cruise's Mission Impossible 4, those marvelous scenes taken at the Dubai building. They were proud that he was directly involved and shown up in those action scenes. You reply, before we filmed the movie, we saw the film making of Bourne Identity series. I found that there were many stunt scenes for Matt Damon. In reality, actors are actors and stuntmen are stuntmen. They belong to different categories. I do not think the actor should deserve any applause only if he does everything. If he accomplishes something dangerous, we may clap for him, but it is really something unnecessary. However, in Korea, we are a little different from Hollywood. The whole budget for our movie is less than Matt Damon's appearance fee. No match, at all. But if the actor and the cinematographer are willing to take a little bit of risk, they can help to salvage some scenes that could cost KRW 7 to 8 billion. Maybe this does not sound scientific, but it is the reality in our movie making industry. And we are just doing our best and there is nothing we really need to gloat over. I feel a little embarrassed to use real action or Gong Yoo did it as tagline for marketing too. Question: why not? Be proud. Did you do Dong Kyul's grim rock climbing training scene yourself? That was scary. You reply, yes, I did. It was at a quarry in Incheon. The cliff was about 50 meters high. I got raised about halfway up by a crane and was hanging by a wire. As the cliff was not a natural one but formed from extraction of stone, the surface of excavation was very sharp. I mean blade sharp. After I landed, a stuntman did the rotating scene for preparation. When I went in filming the next morning, he came up and talked to me seriously. He told me that it was really dangerous. They seldom say things like that. He also told me he tested it out and let me know that if I got in touch with the edges, my skin could get cut. His gloves got cut too. He warned me to be cautious as the stone edges were really razor sharp. He advised me to rely on the hanging wire. If I was just act to rotate in the air or jump, that could be fine. But the scenes were depicted as if I was climbing up and getting trained. I should look like clinging onto the cliff. Thus, I could not lean on the wire. I utilized my own strength and clung to the cliff to formulate reality. It was really hard. It was at my second month since the movie started filming. I was on a diet at that time. I did not have enough body strength due to the lack of carbohydrates. After the quarry scenes finished, I went home and screamed, now I can eat, and started drinking like crazy and passed out. No more revealing the scenes now. Question: the chasing scene in the alley was amazing. The reverse direction chasing scene down the steep stairs looked like the small van was going to be flipped upside down. Did you do it yourself? You reply, yes, I did. The slope was extremely steep and the alley was tightly filled even with one car. If I made any slight error in controlling the steering wheel, the car would strike onto the side wall and get messed up. The original plan was that I took the scene over the first few steps at the top of the staircases. I would sit in the car with Udane and they put 3 cameras in front of us to do the filming while the car moved down a few steps. They could edit it later to fabricate the genuine scenario. But when we were on site filming that scene over a few takes, we had actually gone down 2 blocks. The director kept telling me with a glimpse, hey, we just need a few steps. Dongchul. I got scared but still wanted to do it myself. What's even more surprising is that Udane, who sat next to me, did not notice anything and not even getting scared at all. Laughter. Question: ignorance is being blessed. Laughter. You reply, I believe Udane's performance in the car was not driven by acting. It was just real. At the end of filming, the director asked me, Dongchul, it's 2 blocks away instead, but, can you go further down? I told him, I think so. But if the car was going down over the steps, the steering wheel could move at will. Therefore, I had to hold it really firm when I was going down straight while looking backward. As the cameras were mounted at the front, I had to look at them too. I was going nuts. I cannot remember how many steps I went down. It was quite some time. With all the bangs, we went down. At the end of the steps, the car ended with a powerful impact and I felt the pain at my sacrum. I could feel the strike in my body. As I was the actor, I should take care of the actress though. I cared less about myself but was unclear how she was at that moment. Then, I held her hand instinctively right afar the impact. I asked her if she was fine. That question was mixed with my intention to comfort her and reduce the fear in my mind. Indeed, I believe, laughter. Question, in the end, that scene and the scene where you took off your clothes at the cliff became the two best scenes for the fans. Those are men's most sexy moments as viewed by women. You reply, back, haha. Question, right, how did you take the scene where you dive into the Han River? You reply, I jumped with a wire attached to me, but it was so windy on that day, the wire was flying like crazy. The camera director was hanging on a rope from far away, and I needed to jump toward the camera and descend. At first I was scared, but as I kept doing it I found it fun to do. I tried the bungee jump just once and thought, it is something I won't ever do it again. I absolutely hate rides too. But as I was doing this leap like 12 or 13 times, I even got to think about my posture. Laughter. While I was filming for the movie, I gradually got confused about my identity. Am I an agent for real? I think I might be a real agent. Question, reporter Choi Kyung-gi acted by Yoo Dane and Ji Dong-chul by Yoo, according to the typical movie-making method, should have some more romantic scenes. In this movie, although there are some nuances of it, I do not feel any tremor generated from the chemical reaction between lines. You reply, there were some parts like that in the scenario, but got changed while the movie was being filmed. Personally, I really like the actress, Yoo Dane. I was already a fan of her and starring together was really awesome. However, I heard that the director edited out some of the scenes. From the perspectives of the audience, actress Yoo Dane is not really popular yet. But, the feeling of freshness effused. And I like this feeling. Even there exists more famous and popular actresses, I doubt if she could act the role of Kyung-gi as Dane did. But I think the viewers might have different opinions. I guess the audience could not find Yoo Dane as comfortable as an actor yet. In other words, they see us not only as Ji Dong-chul and Choi Kyung-gi, but also as Gong Yoo and Yoo Dane. Maybe that caused a little unpleasant feeling for them. Therefore, some parts were being edited. Originally, there was a plot that Dong-chul's wife was overlapped with Kyung-gi, but the order of the scenes got switched around. Personally, I mourned for it. I mean, the editing was done in accordance with the taste and expectation of the audience. I feel my own headache, but that is not even comparable to the director's level, I am sure. The director told me all those while he did that. He said the viewers were asking why Yoo Dane is clinging to Gong Yoo even if he wants to go away. Question, stay away from Gong Yoo Oba. That's it, right? You reply, I got really shocked when I heard about it. Just for kicks, I make my living thanks to those people. Still, I feel there is something missing when I watch the movie. I think that part is unavoidable though. Question, is it because she does not look like an absolutely beautiful actress that everyone acknowledges? You reply, mostly because she shows up as a stranger and swears in a husky voice. Do I look good with her, by any chance? Not really necessarily in the movie we did together. Question, from the looks alone, maybe, you two are not a great couple. As you said, she is a very active person and you are a highly recognized commercial actor. Not in a bad way, I mean you are not the type like Kim Yoon-seok or Song Kang-ho, but closer to those like Lee Byung-gun. And, Silenced, was another example of that. Looks like you are not the type of actor who might instinctively show sweetness when acting with actresses, which is hard to believe. You reply, that's a good thing, right? Question, haha, I think I like it, but I don't know how the actor takes and interprets that. You reply, I think it came out as it was supposed to be. In the movie, Dong-chul was someone who was chasing his only goal and could not afford to put anyone else at his heart. That was the Dong-chul I had in my mind. The eye contact of Kyung-gi and Dong-chul at the last scene was a humane one. It was a token of gratitude. However, Kyung-gi's eyes got teary while we filmed the scene. The director told me about that later. According to Dane, when she saw Dong-chul with all the wounds and his hands being handcuffed, and was being dragged by Min Se-eun, Park Hee-soon, she really sensed him as Ji Dong-chul. So, by just looking at him afar, her emotions got stirred up naturally. What a pitiful man Ji Dong-chul is. Moreover, Kyungi knew all the history of Ji Dongchul and how he ended up there. That was more of empathy, rather than love. When the director told me about it, I felt really great. Question: on the contrary, did you have a moment where you indulge further in your acting due to another actor or actress? You reply: there are 4 big action scenes in the movie. One of them is a fight with Kwang Jo Kim Sung-kyan, who was a comrade from the Special Forces of North Korea. He was my best friend, but we were inevitably in such a tragic situation that we had to point our guns to each other. We had been practicing fighting in a dusty pit in Paju filming set for 3 days and got buddied up. After completing that scene, we drank like hell in Paju on the last day. At the beginning I called him Mr. Sung-kyan. It turned to simply Sung-kyan later. The two of us became real good friends while we were drinking, wrestling and hurting each other by mistakes in a very dirty and dusty pit. He may look older than me, but he is 1 year younger for real. At first he said, "Bro, please do not use honorifics." But I could not do that, for others might misunderstand me as a bad guy. Laughter. I think he really is a nice person. Question: Mr. Kim Sung-kyun has not done any action scene in the past. Did it work out well? You reply: the director was really worried about it before we took the scene. Sung-kyan cannot really do that action scene. But after the scene was taken, he said, "An actor is an actor." Sung-kyan is a real funny person during sessions. He jokes around and he is silly. But when the camera lands on him, while he is grabbed by the camera's square frame, he could have the power to take control of the screen. I was really teary at the scene where Kwang Ho died because of Sung-kyan. Especially while the dramatic twist existed, it was different from the ordinary fighting scene. Fighting with a stuntman is relatively comfortable. They know how to react to whatever we have done in the fights. But as the two amateurs who fought over extensive action scenes, it was really tough for us. Getting up on the next morning was very hard, but with Sung-kyun's jokes, we could pull it off. Furthermore, I got another harvest from this movie. I do not have that many actor friends around me, really. In particular, I do not have anyone whom I can call as an older brother. But this time, I got a great older brother called Park Hee-soon. He lives nearby too, so we get along great. He kept telling me not to treat him as an older brother only because he is older than me. He tells me he likes the informal way. Hence, at the beginning, I treated him just like a friend, but got a little scared and sent him a text message. "Brother, I doubt if I have gone over the line." And he bursted into laughter and said, "That is the reason I like you." Question: you do not seem to be the type of person who keeps distance from strangers, right? You reply: not really. Not really though. It seems that living in our country as an actor makes me feel lonelier than necessary and against my will. I think I am a far more dreary person apart from the people's perspectives. I mean, my life is. I hate nosing into other people's business. I do not like to initiate any link with other people, either. I think this indicates my relationship with other people. I tend not to get into anything that I could not be responsible for. Sometimes, you may notice some people in our society who just barge into your life without any reasons, right? I am somewhat wary of those. It is not like, I hate you. But I try to display respect to the others and kind of hard to get along with them quickly. Question: then, who are the people that you like? You reply: I like people who have their own colors, whether they are actors, artists or salesmen, someone who have their own sensibilities and beliefs. And, well, I do not like those who are obstinate too. Ironically, in the entertainment world, fashion industry, and my line of work, there are many intransigent people. From others' perspective, I might be one of them. But, I hate people who are extreme, contrived, and artificial. Such tendencies grow increasingly even when I either watch a movie or listen to music too. That relates to people that I like, the ones who do not feel inferior about themselves even though they may not have much else. People claiming that they are dogmatic tend to be those kinds, in my interpretation. People who are greedy, trying really hard to get something by all possible means, I feel sick of them and try to stay away from. I definitely believe people deserve certain possession. The fact that some people own something does not mean I should have that though. Likewise, there are some that I have but others are lacked of too. Most importantly, it is the effort that you strive to get it that matters. I think it makes your life harder if you try to get this and that, to get something only because other people have it. Some people are just too passionate and try to master everything, but it seems to me that it is merely because they feel inferior in themselves. Let's note not to live a life like that. I am still not perfect, but trying to age toward that direction. Question: further on interview, I noticed you probably experienced a tough time as an actor before the drama Coffee Prince. Now, do you have the same thought as before? It seemed you wanted to grab something at that time. You reply, nope, the story is pretty much the same as before. It was not because the work was tough but because I was not willing to. If the direction is so different from my belief, even something that would make me successful, I am loath to talk about. I hate putting myself into the conventional formula. I could understand it in my mind, but that would not indicate it's great, and I have to accept it. That discrepancy shook me off. This is not as beautiful as I have expected. Should I quit? In a sense, I was pure. Though it may take longer time, or somewhat earn less money, I want to fill my life with entities that give me the sense of achievement and fulfillment. However, people around me told me, don't do it that way, don't do that, or, go do it. I still felt, I am all right. The difference between these two gave me emotional hardship, I guess. I am not acting to be a puppet, a money-making machine for the management company, a consumable, or merchandise. I did not start acting just want to be a star. But everyone was just asking me to be one. What should I do? If I did not like it, I had to leave. I started my acting career at the age of 24, and I was 29 at that time. It took me 5 years to figure it out. Do I have to quit? I keep feeling I do not belong to here. To whom could I turn to for comfort? I am not in the service industry for the sake of the public. As I was young at heart, I just wanted to get some comfort from someone. That attitude obviously spewed. It was not a simple doubt as, how come I don't have a hit piece? Even at that time. Question, initially, I heard that you did not intend to become an actor even you were majoring at theater and film. How did you debut? You reply, I started as a VJ. That job was very popular back then. In high school, I really wanted to study advertising and the related, but realistically I could not get into those good colleges. And, I did not want to spend 4 years at a mediocre college which might have very limited chances for me to get a job after graduated. I cherished my youth and wanted to do something cool. If I majored at theater and film, I figured I could study production which could be useful for me later. Or, I could meet and have fun with some crazy kids. I persuaded my parents and got into the college with those thoughts. God, my anticipated college life was not much difference from my high school days. In my freshman year, I did not go to classes and became an outsider. As I was a high school repeater before the college, I did not get along with others. Then, I saw an ad in a sports newspaper. MNET VJ wanted. The image of college student as a VJ at that time was very positive as that signified his masterly ability with foreign language and knowledge. Someone that is not light. As you could imagine, students around would want to join. I thought that might give me a chance for my debut, right? I made a profile kit with my close friends. We, the three of us, took a camera and made pictures of us on the street by rotating and mixing with each other's clothes. They failed at the first round, but I made into the third. As a kid from Busan, I was not well prepared for that. There were hundreds of people at the audition. It was highly competitive. Question, some people around me went to that audition too. After the audition, they cried a lot and got plastic surgeries. You reply, there were many models and new talents. Among the 2 boys and 2 girls selected, I was one of them. Just could not believe I made it too. I could make more money than serving at a cafe. Plus, I really liked music and doing something associated with the music channel sounded great. That's how I started, but I quitted after 6 months. After the first 6 months as an intern, I was supposed to become a regular MNET employee with salary increment. According to the guaranteed system of the company, I could also get a bonus if I took a program or a section too. It was my first time working in an organization. I hate to deal with politics in the business sector for that really was against my nature. I noticed shortly after that, either I needed to know how to jingle or ingratiate myself frequently there. Since my younger days, I enjoyed doing creative work a lot and wanted to do such stuff when I grew up. But my job was not that creative at all. People around messed with me as I was young there. With smiles on my face in front of them, I tried to stay there for a while. Malleably, I did that for exactly 6 months, but did not find it attractive though. I would like to do something that could inspire the others. But what I did was standing in front of the camera, just like a parrot, reading the chart off the prompter. The number 10 song of this week is, at that time, I got calls from the management companies, domestic fashion brands, and related agencies. Don't you want to try? How much will I get? 3 million won. Wow, I'll do it. But according to the MNET policy, as I was the regular employee, I could not take any outside job offers. As I was young at heart, I thought that just sounded so unreasonable. Why not? I ought to make a living too. While I was there I met a manager who suggested me to try acting. I took that advice as it might look better than the other one. Then, MNET asked me to stay. They said they were just about ready to give me a program of my own. I quit and never looked back. I visited TV stations to introduce myself, meet with PDs, and practice acting without scripts beforehand. Then come the opportunity of school for. To a certain extent, it was a big role. While I was doing the VJ job, I got used to stand in front of the camera for live broadcast. Even I did that for a short period of time. That experience certainly helped me to get rid of the butterflies when I acted in front of cameras. There were room for me to improve in my acting, but as a new actor, I was not afraid of the camera then. Question: you are more like a person of action rather than being a lingerer and ponderer by nature, if I presume. You reply: right, if I decide to be. I am audacious on big issues, but timid on small ones. I really could worry and regret on things that many people do not even bother about. Which should I buy between these two? I should not have bought it at that time. Things like that. But when it comes to large scale, I could be somewhat ignorant, or, hell, if it doesn't work out, I don't care. Something like that. Question: my first memory of Mr. Gong Yoo came from your appearance in the movie My Tutor Friend. Since you are not a standard handsome man with a remarkable outlook, I thought you were going to work on those due to the first impression from that comedy. Well, the track was modified rather quickly though. You reply: what I heard most during the audition was, you look somewhat different. People had extraordinary divided perception on my appearance. If you first saw me in My Tutor Friend, you might think so too. Since I had already established an image before, the role of Jong-soo in that movie was more adventurous. It was exciting and fun. The role was like a silly bully, and I really did not like the movie. Nevertheless, I was not in the position to choose the work I liked. When I was asked what role I would like to do, I wanted to be the hero, of course. But the main character had already set aside for brother Kwon Sang-woo. Back then, brother Sang-woo was also a newcomer. Therefore, obviously Jong-soo was the role for me. What else? Originally, the director had my role in his mind was Sang-woo's little brother, which was a small one. But then when I told him there was no fascinating character other than Jong-soo, he thought I was courageous. He was planning on having an audition, but hearing what I said, he said, you take the role of Jong-soo. That's how it happened. Question: you would opt for just do it with whatever that caught your eyes, right? You reply: it seemed that the director liked me as he wanted to change character of Jong-soo, a cool school kid who was a peer of Kwon Sang-woo. However, the people around objected that idea because I was taller than brother Sang-woo. As there was always an implied role for supporting character, my height was not going to help the movie. I would rather take such role than just a pompous one. I thought that could have more fun. The result was not bad. It was not my preferred type, but that cartoon-like movie became a mega hit. There were 4 to 5 million viewers and lots of people asked, who's that silly guy? I was being focused and got quite a bit of attention. Question: now, you could choose the movie. You reply: well, I am not sure how long it will go, but thankfully. Question: then, why don't you do more work? You reply: while meeting with my managers, I told them I am more than willing to do 1.5 or 2 movies per year if chances exist, just as brother Ha Jung-woo does, but that has not been realized. Laughter: everyone is different. Of course, I think my laziness is part of it too. But I really cannot handle 2 deals at the same time. Looking at actor Ha Jung-woo, I really envy him. I feel that is amazing and unbelievable that even before he completes a movie, how could he just starts the pre-production of the next one? I admire and respect his passion. Yet, everyone seems to have his own way. For me, it looks as if my tempo sometimes tends to be slow. Question: maybe that is one of those factors. It seems that Mr. Gong Yoo, even if you were by yourself, could take care of your life so well. You do have an image that you are able to look for the things which you enjoy easily. You would not be anxious or unhappy even when you are not working. You reply: I was like that since long time ago. I believe that is the driving force which formed who I am right now. Newbies usually tend to be anxious. Someone who started with me made it bigger became hotshots. Those young at heart got even more impatient after they saw that then, those normal ones. However, maybe I did not have any idea or intention to be a successful actor from the beginning. I was less tense. Differed from my peers, I just thought it would be alright, not to worry and be cautious and try my best. Question: people were surprised when you chose Silenced and The Suspect, but the most astonishing one for me was Big. You reply: haha. This might sound like an excuse. I may look like a one-man company, but I do have people working around me. We need compromise and adjustment. Personally, big leaves me in dismay. But if I regret on the decision, that sounds like I am against my own people. Thus, I am all right. And in fact, the process was not easy. I have not done a drama for 5 years and the production system had not changed at all. If I really need to do such inefficient work, I should have felt a jolt of happiness as compensation through the process, but there was nothing like that. As we were in such a hurry at the production site, all the time I had to talk to the director about the character derived from the script before the filming was like 5 to 10 minutes. Later on, I could just determine, do not give up. I'll finish it up. In fact, this is a very delicate topic. Some could say that I am talking high and mighty, but I do not blame anyone about that though. I just wish I could have acted in better conditions without repentance. That was the drama I really wanted after my long absence. I was scared somewhat too because the last drama I did was a gigantic hit. People hyped. After finishing his military duty, Gong Yoo of The Coffee Prince is doing a drama after 5 years absence with the Hong sisters who are famous for the romantic comedies. That expectation put me under tremendous pressure. Actually, I had received 2 acting proposals from the Hong sister in the past. At that time, as the lines written by them sounded too cartoonish, I thankfully turned them down. However, after my enlistment, I became more open-minded over time. To a certain extent, I wished to take up the challenge. I knew that might not be my cup of tea, but I wanted to give it a shot. But, eventually, fans were disappointed, the writers got blamed, Minjung was being complained, at least I had not been accused of acting poorly. That was the only comfort I found. By all means, I was not happy but didn't mind though. I was sorry for the crew and I was heartbroken. Question: sorry to bring up the old wound again. When was your happiest moment as an actor? You reply: during the time of Silenced, I had a very strange feeling mixed with happiness and fear. It was not, hey look, I did a great job. Please praise me. It was rather a happy fear that one movie could generate such an unexpected terrific power and I was at the center of it, getting the spotlight. After reading the book, one had thought that if I could help, I would be ready to help. I wanted to get it out to all people, and that was why I proposed the production of the film. I never expected it could be that huge. Isn't it great that with one movie, you might be able to more or less comfort the people who have suffered from such an absurd, incredibly enormous wound? Moreover, it is good that the law saves and impedes any possible future secondary and tertiary victims from occurrence. Felt like our whole nation seethed. I got to show up as the main character at the 9 p.m. news every day, and the National Assembly was trying to enact the Dogany law. Wow, what did I do? It was a very strange feeling. Question: when I first met you 10 years ago, I thought you were doing a job that made people happy. You definitely seemed to be a bright young man who knew his job well and enjoyed his work at the site. However, as you became more and more famous, I have been always wondering if you were still the same person. From what you have just said, I am really happy that you seem to have maintained your essence. You reply: well, it is difficult to always enjoy the job you do. But I think it is surely necessary to have that attitude. That will make me happy, and I need to be happy so that people around could be happy. This is same as the old saying that I have to love myself before the others can love me. I do believe in it. When the actors are happy, the result will certainly be good. If I were like, why? What is going on? Another job, another all-nighter, I'm sick of it. Then, obviously, I think the outcome could not be favorable. Apparently, it is a job. My job is acting. On the other hand, is being an actor just a job? Can the word acting be defined as a job? I even think about it this way. In my mind, I try not to deem it as a job. I really like it as if it is a hobby. Not for profit, not for money, not for popularity. I am just sharing my life and drink with the people in front me that just appeared on the screen, and my staff who got to be around me by destiny now, I believe. Yes, that is right.